Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plat. Purplatypus is the name, and welcome to another Unicorn Overlord build guide video. Today, I know yesterday was a bit negative. Today, we are talking about something a little more positive. Our waifu for laifu, the feathered phenom that is the WEREOWL. Unlike yesterday, I'm actually quite a big fan of the WEREOWL. But really quick, before we jump into it, boom! Thank you to my members. Thank you to my supporters. I really appreciate it. If you want to consider supporting the Plat and get some extra little perks while you're at it, consider becoming a member. I really appreciate it. And with Eudian Chronicles coming up, well, let's just say you could expect some content for that coming up as well. Now, let's jump into it. So, the WEREOWL, let's go over the unit and then we'll go over the team that I thought that might be a good use. But we'll get into that in a second. So first, let's take a look at the unit here. They are basically a support, right? They got S magic defense, pretty bad everything else. Besides, they got some evasion, they got some initiative. A B evasion isn't actually bad, like that's pretty good, and it's actually even better because they're flying. So that's pretty good, and they're actually a aware person, so at nighttime they get increased stats. I try not to really base things on it being nighttime, because it could be hard to manipulate whenever you want. There are items that let you do it, but I still feel like I don't want to rely on that too much, but still having good base stats and the ones that matter. Like a really high magic defense is great, I mean, obviously, if someone attacks this with a bow, you're going to have a bad time. So you're going to want to keep this character safe from archers. But other than that, because, basically literally the worst physical defense and low HP. But other than that, pretty good stats for support overall. They are flying, so they've got pretty good speed. They have a healing assist, which I think is pretty weak overall. But it's not their only. They have 3 leader effects, right? They have healing assists, and they ignore terrain because they're flyers, and they have night walk, so they move faster. So this is actually one of the flying units that just is one of the better flying units to be a leader, because they move faster at nighttime. So you move at normal speed during the day, and then at nighttime you get even faster, which is just really good, honestly. So overall, a really good leader. I don't like the healing assist part, but that doesn't matter, because if they were just a flyer, I would say that was pretty good. And because flying is OP. It's OP, OP, OP. It lets you bypass so many game mechanics, to the point where I'm actually thinking I'm not going to allow flying leaders in my true Zenorian playthrough. In fact, no mounted units at all, I think I'm doing. Just to keep it a little more challenging because of how overpowered it is to be a flying leader or even a mounted leader. As far as their skills, this is where it gets interesting. This is if you've played Magic the Gathering, I don't want me to compare characters and builds to Magic the Gathering all the time, but this one just reminds me of it. This is the blue mage. This is blue spell in general. They are basically like counterspell. Like, this is the thing. They have they're like combo machines and counterspells. If you consider restore grants an ally 1 PP, that's like a draw spell almost. It gives you more options, but doesn't do anything itself directly. Quick Dispel removes buffs after an enemy is buffed. That's basically nope, that's a counterspell. And then, that's kind of where the comparison ends, because they also have like white magic stuff. But I mean, this is like the core of their kit. But let's go over it. Aurora Veil. Veal, yum. Don't eat. You probably shouldn't eat it, but I don't know. I'm not going to judge you if you do. All right. This is actually my favorite of their actions, or their active abilities. Grants HP regeneration to a row of allies and grants them all 50% magic defense. So this is actually pretty darn good with, like, it's good with things that need the help with magic defense, right? Like, obviously, if you have like an angel, the 50% magic defense gives you more, but they already have such a high magic defense, it usually doesn't matter. So it being a 50% boost, it's kind of bad and kind of good, right? Because if you come over here and look at this guy, right, his magic defense is 16. So what is 50%? He's getting 8 more magic defense. Still, getting 8 free magic defense and HP regeneration is good, even in like the worst case scenario where the magic defense is bad. So overall, I think that this is a pretty good ability. Obviously, if the enemy has no magic, the second part of this does nothing. HP regeneration isn't insanely good, but it is something, and it's it's preventative. Not preventative. It's like you're healing with your action before the enemy goes, ideally, and then the enemy attacks, and then your slow characters like the gladiator will then heal at the start of their turn. Basically, it's okay. I don't love this ability, but I don't hate it. Night vision. This is okay. Granting a row of allies plus 50 accuracy is like decent. That's a lot of accuracy. Like that's like that's not a 50% increase, but it's like maybe a 25-30% increase, something like that. It gets good at nighttime when it makes their next attack a true strike for a whole row. I mean, that's pretty good. Again, this works better with characters that have really, really low accuracy. So it's actually better on things like, in my opinion, the gladiator, or if you're just trying to target flyers. The thing is, you don't want to rely on this at nighttime. You don't want to do a build. It's not like Gilbert, where it's like every single time, no matter what, Gilbert is always going to give everyone with sniping order true strike. A row of allies against true strike. This does not do that. So this makes me feel like I don't want to build a team around the true strike aspect of it. So I'm not really worried about this ability too much, but the 50 accuracy could be nice, and when it's a true strike, it could be nice. Extra heal, restore moderate HP to a single ally, so it heals them a lot, and then it grants some HP regeneration, and then it grants some 30 initiative. I would like this ability for 1 AP. Maybe it'd be too powerful, but I don't really like it for 2. It's 1 ally. If it was a passive, this would be fantastic. Like if it activated after an ally got attacked. But giving something 30 initiative, I mean, this is weird because like I would want to use this first as an initiative booster to a different character. But if I'm going first, that means they haven't taken damage yet. So the first third of the ability doesn't work. You're just going for the second 2/3, which is maybe good enough. But if I'm just going for the initiative and HP regeneration, I feel like there's probably better options, like using a rapid order. And then the HP regeneration isn't that valuable because you can get it on your first ability. So overall, I don't really like this ability. I think it's fine, but it's not. I don't see myself using it that much. But now we're going to get to the good stuff. They're passives. This is the good stuff. Restore. Activates after an ally uses a passive skill. Grants an ally a passive point. The owl loves giving its PP to everybody on the team. It is obsessed. It sees someone in need of a little PP, and it's like, it jumps in there. All right. That's all I'm going to say. No, but this is really like, this ability is so good and so flexible in so many ways that I don't know the best way to use it. This is so open, right? There's 2 main resources in the game. There for combat. You use your action points and use your passive points. Half of this is just half of that. This is the passive points. It just gives it to whoever you want to have passive points to, right? You get to kind of control this however you want. You can make it so your gladiators, I'm saying gladiator because they're on my screen. You can make it so they get more bulk ups. You can make it so you get more pursuits, more eagle eyes. You can make it so other, if you have quick dispel or something, you could even, they'll even target each other and just stroke each other's PPs, basically. You can give your characters more evade. You can give them, you could do so much with it, right? You could even do combo things where, if a character is normally stuck to 4 PP, you could break that because they could use 4 PP on an action and get a PP back. Or in a situation like this, where this normally takes 2 PP to use, right? And you have 4 PP. So you use it once, go down to 2. The owl comes in, bumps it up to 3. Use this the second time, you go down to 1. The owl comes in, bumps it up to 2. So now you could use this 2 PP ability 3 times with just the aid of 1 owl. And if you have multiple owls, then you can absolutely kind of go off because, like, I'm pretty sure this is not, restore is not limited. So this is just like an ability that is trying to enhance everything you do, but it's hard to know exactly where it's best, at least for me. I haven't figured it out. On my second playthrough, I'm going to use the WEREOWL a lot more. I'm going to try to rush up to this zone. I'm basically, instead of doing all the maps, I'm going to try to rush to specific characters where I can unlock certain characters so I can use them on more fights. Because the issue with some of these characters is you unlock them later. Like the angels, you lock them late in the game if you kind of go in the intended game order. So at that point, it feels like, well, I didn't even get to use them that much. But it's kind of the same with the owl. I didn't get to use them as much as I wanted, but I love this ability. Quick Dispel, this is busted, but it's sometimes useless, which is why I like having it. Restore is frequently not going to be busted, but always really good, where this is going to be busted or it does absolutely nothing, right? After an enemy is buffed, you remove all their buffs. One, it doesn't just remove the most recent buff they did. If for some reason they got multiple buffs in one action or something, this will remove all of them. It's just freaking really powerful, man. This is a combo breaker, right? Like in the arena, the owls were the bane of my existence because you try to do the quick impetus thing. All right, I have my character go first and they quick impetus. The second they get quick impetus, the owls just like counterspell. And then you just skip your turn and then your whole build falls apart because nothing happened. And now you have to wait a full turn. It just absolutely throws a wrench into everything. But same with enemies, right? Like even if they have a witch on their team that's like, oh, they get guaranteed, they hasten cast or whatever. So they get guaranteed to go first. Boom, quick dispel. That character doesn't do that anymore. Now your whole build identity doesn't even function. Even if it's just like certain buffs that just make the characters, you know, the cavalry, make all the cavalry stronger or something. It's not as good against that because that's an AoE buff. But it's still functional, right? Like it'll still do really good. If it's like, oh, hey, you're immune to one lethal blow. No, you're not. No, you're not. So insanely powerful ability. It's good a lot of the time, but it's never, but I feel like there's also a lot of fights where it just kind of doesn't really matter that much, but still wonderful ability. Circle Barrier. Attacks before an ally is attacked. This is super cool. Reduces damage taken by all allies by 25% for one attack. So this is a decent ability. I don't love it, mostly because I want to save my PP for Restore and Quick Dispel. But there are situations where if you're just like fighting, let's say you got an infantry and they got cavalry and they're just going to one-shot you. There are better options than this, like guarding and stuff. But if your team doesn't have something like that is able to block the cavalry to prevent some of the damage, Circle Barrier will help you not get one-shot, which then means you can actually have a chance to heal and get that character back up. So it is a good ability. I do really like that it affects all allies. It means if the front row gets attacked, you're also vicariously helping the back row in case they have like an archer on the team. Even though, you know, their whatever swordmaster attacked your legionnaire or something, now you're still going to have extra protection with the same, you know, without investing more PP for their archer that's going to attack your, you know, wyvern or something, right? So it's a good ability. I don't think it's insane, and it's something I'm not going to use too much unless I'm really outgunned and I'm just trying to survive and get out of there, because I typically want to just kill the enemies, which just isn't going to help with that much. So I'm mostly into the Restore and Quick Dispel. So what do I think about the Owl overall? One of my favorite characters, honestly, in the game, despite me not having used them a ton because I couldn't quite find a build that I really wanted them to go in. I like how synergistic they are in multiples because Quick Dispel will target different targets, right? If they do an AoE buff, you could dispel that one and they could dispel that one, you know, with two different owls. Restore will stack. So if you could even make it specifically set up so they won't target other owls, basically, like, you know, not the combatant is not flying or something, right? Like, maybe you can't do not flying. But point is, you could like target where you want it to target, right? You don't need to make it active on this whenever they use a PP. But now it's like one character can use one PP and actually gain one, you know, so they actually, instead of using one, they go up one, which could be very, very powerful, combined with the fact that they've just got the ability to counter stuff. A very, very cool unit. Now, the only thing is I don't like their actives that much. I think they're situationally useful. Like sometimes I'm going to use night vision, and sometimes against magic users, I will use Aurora Veil as a preventative before you get hit by magic to increase your defense and then give them all increased regeneration. But for the most part, I'm going to equip wands with skills on my owls, I think. You could do things like resurrection because, you know, maybe something gets one shot. You can do something like the Phantom Night Staff, grants a row of allies the ability to evade a single attack. I don't love that, but I do like it. You can get a super dispel. I think it's a little redundant. You probably don't need this much dispel. Unfortunately, they can't equip Earthquake. That's definitely what I would use. Or even, not Gravity maybe, but there's a few abilities here that I would like to use, but I settled on Lyrical Wand. I basically, one, this grants you an AP, which is kind of nice. And then I just like that they are basically a super battery. They give your other characters AP. They're going to give them up to 4 PP and up to 2 more AP each. So it just allows you to kind of keep the rest of the build going. And sometimes you're not going to get all that. One active heal does heal a lot too. It does heal a moderate amount of HP as well. But besides that, it's also going to, it just helps. I'm trying to think of the wording. It solidifies their role as a support. I couldn't figure out the fucking words. I'm sorry. It hasn't even been a long day. I don't even have an excuse. But that is kind of the build I like to go. I want to have 4 AP, 4 PP on them, like with all characters. But I would say if you have to prioritize one, the AP is not that important. You could just put a lyrical wand, and then keep them at 3, and then use a night vision, then an active heal. The 4 PP is much better because, again, if they have 4 PP, it means a different character kind of has the PP as well. You could choose where to spend it by either giving it to them or just letting them use it on quick dispel, stuff like that. So for a team, I actually went with a double owl build here. Now, this isn't probably an ideal team. I'm going to be honest. It's tough to figure out where the owl fits in because they're not like an overt combo or damage dealer. I mean, you could, like with the PP thing, you could go with the all-in Amalia build or that I did earlier. But, if you have a item like the, where's Amalia at? Let's go with physical attack. She's got to be way up here. So, you can get a Dancer's Blade where you get basically, guaranteed crit, right? You could do this with a soldier, so you get a guaranteed crit, and then you don't even need to do anything else. So basically, you can make it so the soldier can use a PP to give her a guaranteed crit, and then you could use the owl to give the PP back to the soldier, so you can effectively have like 12 attacks with Amalia. The issue is that's a little all in, and I don't think I would want to do that because it just takes so long to get all those attacks off. But it's something that could be used for sure. But what I decided to go with is kind of more just focus on the pursuit route. Is basically after an ally attacks, you're going to follow up attack and you're going to get that PP back. Also, this works with like aerial snipe. I actually like the sniper in this build, which is rare because I don't typically like the sniper. After an ally is hit by an attack, you counter attack with a physical enemy. So this is, you use 1 PP, you do an attack. An enemy, you use 1 PP, you do an attack. So this kind of just lets you go all in on damage with the sniper. There are other characters that might be able to do this better. In fact, like, I think Shadow Pursuit on the Fox, the Werefox, could be better. Follow up a single enemy attack and you inflict blindness, and it does the same amount of damage. It's not ranged, so it's not necessarily better. And they have worse attack, but being able to inflict blindness could be very, very powerful. Weakness Hunter is great. After an enemy is debuffed, you attack a single enemy, and then you ignore 50% of their defense. And then, you get both that PP back. So this is kind of the thing I'm going with. I think that the owls work actually particularly well with the Berserker, the Gladiator, like I mentioned them a couple times in this video already. Mostly because they're just going to they basically make his bulk up infinite, right? You could either choose if you want to go all in on like the pursuit stuff or whatever and use a more traditional tank, or if you want to do something different, you basically just let him bulk up. Because now if you want to have it set up where this only targets front row infantry or something, you could have it like, so this guy effectively has 12 PP, 12 bulk ups, right? So they have to deal more than 40% damage to him every single time. Otherwise, he's gonna just never frickin' die. And there probably is, there's probably like another item here. Like I know there's a shield that does it, but like increased recovery, like the whatever shield. There might even be something that does, let me take a look. Increase your healing. Maybe not in axes. Maybe not in axes. There might be one here, but basically every time you heal, you get more healing. But like just have as much HP on this guy as you want, as long as they don't hit him for more than 40% of his damage, or even if they do hit him for 40%, it doesn't matter, as long as, because he's healing 40%, 40%, 40%, as long as he doesn't get basically 2-shot, he should be fine. And then his turn comes up, he can mounting charge, heal himself an additional 30%, give himself 30% physical attack, and on top of that, he's actually going to heal 50% because he has the Holy Brooch, and then he gets that attack boost, which is also going to be pretty good. And then at the end of the fight, because he's so slow, everyone else is probably gone, he can actually berserk. He can get his 1 AP back, and then he can wide smash for a bunch of damage, or he could use the grand smash if you have a lyrical wand or something like that, and you're kind of manipulating the turn order just right. Very, very good, I think. Also, his accuracy is dog shit, but like we were saying, the night vision can just grant them accuracy. And it also has, at nighttime, it's going to make it a true strike. So it's actually pretty darn synergistic. I think, like, night vision is synergistic. Aurora Veil, I think, is synergistic because it's healing over time. And it also gives them magic defense, which is their weakness. Restore is good because it keeps them alive. Quick Dispel doesn't really work with them. And Circle Barrier could be good against Cavalry if you are just taking too much damage, where your lack of defenses are going to get you killed. But even then, this character's at 19 physical defense right now, which isn't good. And that's mostly because this axe. But still, like, the point is, I think this axe is kind of important. But yeah, this is kind of a build. I was thinking about it. I don't have a bunch of leveled characters, so we're just going to do our best here. We're going to do a mock battle. We're going to have to go up against something weak here. Let's see how this works. I don't even know. I forgot. I set up the team. I forgot to set up the counter team to show off what I was doing. Oh, she's got quick cast. Oh, does she? Yeah, right. God, the owl's so good. So you passive hold. They got passive seal. Oh, and then you weakness hunter. I love that character, man. We might need to set up. I don't know if I have restore on. Guaranteed hit. It's nighttime. Let's go. There we go. Oh, there we go. Restore. I think I have it set up to back row. Oh, man. The stun is actually a bad deal. Okay, well, they kicked ass, but let's do a different one here. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to get rid of you. And I'm just going to put you here. Sorry, we got to set this up. So I just want this to, like, target the front row. There you go. Turn that off. Quick Dispel, that's not what we're trying to go for here. I just want to do, like, the restore thing. Front row. There we go. So this guy is actually not even going to do anything. It's okay. Who cares? We'll just have you mock battle with something that only targets the front row. You don't only target the front row, but you're going to passive steal, aren't you? Here's what we're going to do. There are weaknesses, all right? Let's be honest here. Let's do this. And then we will... I just want to see, even against Cavalry, how this works. And this might blow up in my face. I apologize if it does. These guys are pretty strong comparatively. We're not trying to win. We're just trying to see how resilient he is. 78. Oh, the fucking stun, bro. Give me a second. Everything has got stun. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come right here. Holy Brooch? No. We're going to do immunity to... Order required. No. Go item. Oh, is it a Sacred Brooch? Yeah. 20% affliction immunity. There we go. This is the one I was looking for. I had the wrong one equipped. All right, there we go. Now he can't be stunned, which is super important for a gladiator because he gets stunned. That's akin to death. All right, now let's take a look here. We're probably still going to lose, but this should keep us alive longer. That was a crit, but he gets the bulk up. Got his PP back. Okay, well, we'll have to change that so he doesn't instantly lose. All right, let's take a look. Ouch. The cavalry might just be too strong for us in this case. Okay. All right, I'm sorry, okay? I'm trying to show this. My guys aren't the right level, all right? This isn't fair. Well, my guy is level 35, but he is not designed to go up against cavalry. Let's go up against this. Let's see how this works. They're not supposed to win. I just want to show you how strong the gladiator can be. That's the idea. How much damage do you do? Nothing. Bulk up. Look at that. We still are wasting PP here, but it's not important. You understand that I am. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a huge waste of PP, but it's okay. Oh, yeah. Let's go. Bulk up, bro. Bulk up. This other team is really strong. They just don't do double damage. That's really it. Oh, Jesus. That was really strong. Okay. There we go. Mountain charge. Back up to full health, bro. Let's go. He might need a little bit of a defense help, I'll be honest. His defense being cut this much is a big deal. Oh, this is fun. This is what I like about the Gladiator. Look at that. He's still going. And he's got 4 PP now. It's actually disgusting. They should be almost out of actions. He's on standby because he's at full HP. Uh-oh. I think he's going to die here because we have him not using mounting charge. Hold up. I want you to live. Oh, no. Is this going to kill him? Oh, no. He gets to go. Why are you standbying? I think we fucked up his order. I'm not expecting him to actually... I wasn't expecting him to survive this long. Well, there we go. He didn't do his mounting charge thing. Obviously, I don't have this quite set up right. Mounting charge when own AP is 2 or more. He should have been mounting charge. Activates only when the user has 2 or more AP. I honestly don't know why it didn't activate there. Because you'd think that he would, right? Maybe he can't mounting charge at max HP. I don't know. That one is just like, I would have to kind of mess with it to figure it out. But that's the idea. This is mostly about how cool the Owl is. And I try to make it about the Berserker. The Berserker is one of my favorite units in the game. But I'll admit, they're kind of dog shit, man. Every time I fucking use the Berserker, they just die. They just fucking die every fucking time. And I'm like, no, but wait. But they're good. All right, I promise. They're good. Anyway, this is, I know it's kind of a, this isn't the ideal team. But this is the team that I kind of was thinking it would be good with them. I might switch this and go with like a Legionnaire, and then that they just protect the back row, and then go with like follow-up units, the pursuits, kind of like what I was doing initially, and then not worry about giving PP to anyone besides the units that are just going to go and attack. But yes, there we go. Anyway, much love. That's it for today. We're getting too long in the tooth and the nail here. For Platypus is for Purplatypus. I'll see you guys on the flip-flops. Bye.